Hello everybody, I'm Gleb and today I'm going to tell you about Open RAN situation. This is my second video about Open RAN concept. If you want to know more about Open RAN, you can watch my first video. I recommend you to watch it here. So in this video I want to speculate, to debate about some positive side and negative side of Open RAN and consider the current situation of such solution. So let's start with political situation and some multi-vendor strategy, because we all know that in many countries, especially in United Kingdom, in Australia, in some other countries, Chinese companies is prohibited, is restricted. So Open RAN can be considered as a driver to diversify their networks, because we all know that there are just three main players in RAN market. This is Huawei, Nokia and Ericsson. And if Huawei is restricted, the choice is only for Nokia or for Ericsson, and it's very risky to deploy the whole network, for example, only for Nokia or only for Ericsson equipment, because there is a high probability of monopoly situation, and many government politicians, they very concerned about such situation, and the only possible alternative for that is Open RAN concept, is Open RAN vendors. So Open RAN can be a kind of a driver for such situation. Local success or 6G story. I believe that the current situation around Open RAN, it is more about local success stories. It is more about some spot cases. Even the case of Rakuten in Japan. There are only 2,000 base stations. Yes, it can seem very large, yeah, but I think this is not enough for manufacturer to deploy more and more equipment for different Open RAN vendors. This is not enough request for that, I guess. So we can consider, at least for now, the current situation around Open RAN as a local success, or even the case for future networks, for some 6G story deployments. This is the only case as I see. The next point I would like to discuss is market share and R&D investments. We all know that Nokia, Huawei, Ericsson, they share around 80% of the whole market. So this is not a special situation, I would say, because during the last 20-25 years, market situation was very diversified. We all can remember multiple companies such as Alcatel, Motorola, Siemens, NEC, Nortel, base stations was, yes. But the high competition between companies and requirements for high investments in R&D, in development, in new technologies, yes, all of these factors actually lead to merging situation when a company should buy another companies, yes, as Nokia, for example, bought Alcatel-Lucent. And it's pretty hard to imagine how small companies, they go into invest huge amount of money, huge amount of people resources, and how they go into invest in R&D, because Huawei, Ericsson, Nokia, they all have not only resources, they also have some relations with governments, with academia, and it's pretty hard to imagine how small companies of Open RAN, how they going to compete with such industry giants. So let's talk about vendors, cooperation and monopoly. Actually, such vendors as Ericsson and Nokia, they have some interests. They participate in Open RAN, some different organizations. Yes, I suppose there is a high probability of such situation when a huge company can buy another small company, can buy some startups, yes, to take over the whole market. It is said that if you cannot win, you can become a leader, yes. If you cannot compete with multiple small companies, yes, why not to buy them, as it was with Facebook and Instagram, as it was the case Facebook and WhatsApp Messenger, yes, or as I've mentioned earlier, Nokia, when Nokia was allowed to buy Alcatel. I cannot see any restrictions and limitations for Nokia, for Ericsson to buy some small Open RAN companies. So it is very possible. The next case is actually I want to say that even for current Open RAN solutions, they can be applied and they can be deployed for rural areas and with some small indoors configurations. It is possible because such areas are not at first, they're not the first prioritization for operators. Yes, such areas are usually not so very demanding in terms of capacity. Yes, and we all know that nowadays Open RAN providers, they have some bottlenecks in terms of chips and capabilities. But probably in very foreseeable future, the situation will change because Intel, because Qualcomm company, they have some interests in Open RAN, and very possibly in near future we will see much more power, capacity capability for Open RAN solutions. The next point is cost saving issue. The thing is that Open RAN promise OPEX, CAPEX reduction and cost savings, yes, basically. But it's pretty dangerous to believe in such words, I would say, because RAN, a radio access network, is just a part of the whole network, yes? The whole infrastructure consists of towers, core infrastructure, some other things. So the RAN infrastructure is only the part of that, and it's pretty hard to imagine that CAPEX reduction in RAN will lead to cost savings for the whole operator. This is very debatable. This is not so obvious, I would say. It should be considered as a particular case. The next thing I would say, dependency, because nowadays there is a such situation that many operators, they just become as a kind of a sub-layer, as a kind of a big pipe between vendors and subscribers. So they don't do anything, just providing services, because vendors can provide everything. Vendor can sell to you not only equipment but also, for example, optimization services, run planning services, even build and some other cases, yes, big analytics services. So you as operator, you don't have to have all of these departments. All of these departments can be reduced. Your own R&D department can be reduced, and you as operator just become only as a kind of a very thin sub-layer, yes, between vendor and subscribers. So nothing special. And this can be very dangerous situation, because in such case there is a high dependency on just one or two vendor, yes, and we all know that for 5G networks, 5G networks is going to be deployed as one single platform for government, for business, for industries, for all of us, for people. And this is especially the case of 5G networks dependency. So Open RAN can be as a kind of a driver again for diversify risks, to have more secure network, even when it comes to national security and some political pressure from other countries. This can be a case for Open RAN. This is a good solution, I would say. And Open RAN can actually help to do so by virtualization. At least for the first steps, we can diversify our network in such scenario. We, for example, can virtualize our RAN network. It is when hardware and software can be splitted, and for example, hardware can still relate to our vendor, but software was written by our own company, or was written by operator, or was written by our government, yes? And in such way we can diversify risk, we can diversify networks, and this again can be very positive for security issues. So basically, as you see, Open RAN current situation are not so obvious, I would say. There are multiple points that should be considered with more details before going to Open RAN solutions. So if you like this video, you can like and subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions and comments, you can send me your questions and comments in a section below or via email. So stay tuned with IoT Understanding channel. Goodbye.